Hello, welcome. My name is Leslie, and this is my channel, The Sewing Circle. Today we're looking at another upcycled jacket made from a pajama shirt, scraps of fabric, hand embellishments, embroidery, and all kinds of scraps and pieces from thrift stores and my stash. I'm excited to show you my jacket, to share some of my construction inspiration, and to connect with you today. So welcome to the Sewing Circle, and let's get into our beautiful jacket.
The first thing I'm doing is just cutting off the collar about 1/8 of an inch above the seam line there where it's attached at the neck. And I'm just going to leave that raw because I'm going for a kind of a more artsy look, not a finished look for the jacket. And now I'm just going to button it up and lay it out flat. And you just want to make sure that you've got front and back even, laid flat, just how you want it. And then we're going to go ahead and mark and cut off the sleeves. Since I'm making this into a kimono, I want to go ahead and remove the sleeve here. And the way I'm measuring that is I'm setting my ruler up to see where do I need to cut to remove the sleeve and still have like one continuous line. So there is the seam allowance right here where the sleeve is attached, and I'm going to, having smoothed everything out, I'm going to go ahead and mark this to cut right along that seam allowance, that closest spot right there. I've got my wash away marker, the ace pen in green here. I'm just going to go ahead and mark that line along the ruler. Cut that out. I'm cutting through both layers, front and back. Following that straight, sure that this turns out even. I am going to go ahead and lay this right sleeve right on top of the left sleeve and line things up just to make sure that I'm getting it very close to the same. Now that it's marked, I'm going to go ahead and cut through both layers. Okay, so we can set these aside for another project. And now we have the beginnings of our kimono. Once you get your pajama piece ready, you can go ahead and start hand sewing pieces of fabric to the front, sides, and the back of the pajama piece. This is where I took my time and did a lot of hand quilting, embellishments, applique. You can see here I'm just applying this strip of pink fabric and doing some hand quilting upon it. You can see that there were lots of different pieces of fabric that I just applied to the front two panels and trimmed to fit the piece of the pajama. All right, just wanted to show you what I've been doing on this half. If I hold it closely, you can see I've been doing some rough top stitching, some whoop-de-doos. I even wrote love across here with my machine. Just securing some of these places. Now I started using the pre-pieced quilt strips from my thrift haul from my trip to Santa Cruz. Remember I had that thrifted bag of just like a surprise bag of fabric stuff?
I got this bag and I haven't even opened it, but let's open this together because this was a fun little grab bag. It looks like there's some pieced quilt stuff in here that I might be able to use for some upcycles. And I was excited to open it, but I made myself wait. And I almost forgot to open it with you. Oh, look at that.
Here's a better view of what I've got going on. I need to trim this piece. We're going to have pieces that run this way. Okay, we have the front and back pieced with the sleeve panels now. And you can see these sleeve panels are very big. They will not stay this large.
So I've laid down the jacket on a bed for you so we could see more clearly what we're working with here now. This is the main part, which was the pajama. What we cut the sleeve and the sleeves off and the sides open. So this is the pajama top that I embellished and embroidered on. And now we're adding the sleeves. And this is what that process is looking like. Currently, we are going to be marking the lines for the sleeve and the side seam. We have it wrong sides together. We're going to be seaming it from the outside, from the right side, and then cutting it with a seam allowance that will then be allowed to be frayed. Here, from the side seam, we have a 5-inch distance that we marked, and it's going from the bottom hem up to the armpit 14 inches. So we want to make sure this side has that same 5-inch mark. I'm using my wash out marker and marking right on the fabric 5 inches from the side seam, and we want it to be the 14 inches up. So we're going up a full 14 inches. So we're basically going to be sewing this line we just marked across and the line we marked down. It's 5 inches from the edge, which is what was comfortable for me, 14 inches up and all the way across to the end of the sleeve. Now what I like to do is get it all lined up and pin it and try it on quickly, just to make sure that everything is to my liking before we seam it up. And I say this, but I'm going to say it again. It's always better to go bigger and make it smaller than to try to make it bigger after you've made it too small. I don't know if that makes sense, but err on the side of it being a little bit too big versus erring on the side of it being too small. We can always take it in, right? All of this marker comes out, stitching comes out. We can always make it smaller, but we can't make it bigger. I'm just gonna move these and pin them so that we can try on one more time and just make sure that this is exactly how we want it to be. This bed is a little low. My back is is getting a kink. Okay, so now that I've pinned it where I'm going to be sewing it, I want to go ahead and pick it up and try it on. So let's put it on and see how those pins make it all fit and feel. Okay, I feel like that's going to be perfect. We've got plenty of room. I'm going to take it out to the sewing trailer and sew these lines together. For this jacket, I started out with a pajama shirt, as you can see inside here. And like the jacket I made before, I cut the sleeves and the full length of the pajama shirt all the way down and spent my time embellishing the pajama pieces. So this panel with the bird, this panel, and the entire back of the jacket was the original pajama shirt. I took my time with this one and pieced together blocks of fabrics, embellished and appliqued on top of the blocks, did some embroidery, and even added a trim with hand stamping on it. I was inspired by my Peter Pan book and Jemima Puddle Duck. She flew beautifully when she had got in a good start. She skimmed along the treetops, and then I added, she bloomed, she rises above the storm. And then it says, live brave, and I heart your heart. This jacket has so many beautiful details. This is pieces of thin fabrics. These are actually selvages from some of my Kelly Ray Roberts fabrics. There's Tula Pink on here and Tula Pink Untamed tags. I then used the quilt pieces, the panels I had received out of that bag that I shared last week that I picked up from the thrift shop. I had a grab bag of just pre-pieced quilt pieces, and I put them together to make the side panels and sleeves of this jacket. After I'd put on the side panels and sleeves, I embellished the front of the shirt with this beautiful fringe and went all the way around and back down the front. I have some strawberries, some more bits and bobs here. I hand quilted this beautiful flower fabric and also this panel that said joy. This jacket is so beautiful. I'm so excited to wear it. I am now thinking about dyeing it. The last jacket I made, I went ahead and put in a tea dye at this point, and I'm really, really loving the outcome. So let's go dye this jacket together. Okay, we're here in my kitchen. I have my stainless steel pot. I have this Trader Joe's Irish black tea, and I have a big wad of tea bags. I don't know how many are here. Let's see. I think I'm going to probably put about 15 bags into the hot water that I have starting. I'm starting on my stove here. I also have this fuchsia pink dye from Rite dye that I'm thinking about adding just a splash to, so we get kind of that pinkish brown tinge. You can see here, got the tea bags in here. Water's heating up. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and just add a splash of that pink to it right now and see what kind of color we might get. in case we need to start over before we start dyeing our jacket. Want to make sure I got the dye just how I want it. So I'm actually gonna pour a little in the cap. So I have just a little bit in the cap. This is a very bright pink, so just want a little bit in there, just to give it that pinkish edge, because a lot of the fabrics on the jacket are pink. Okay, that's giving it kind of more of a goldeny color. Another little splash. Ooh, I'm liking that. Okay, let's hold it right there. I'm going to take a little paper towel piece. Let's take a little paper towel piece. It does have a print on it, so don't let that distract you. And we're just going to fold it up a little bit and dip a little corner in and just see what kind of color we're getting. Okay. So we're not too pink yet. Kind of a brownish pink. Going to go ahead and let's let that marinate a little bit. Okay, so I want to show you the color. It's a very warm, kind of an orangish brown, which was what I was hoping for. I don't think I'm going to add any more of the pink to it. I'm loving that color. Let's go ahead and get another paper towel piece and dip it in just so we can confirm the color that we're going to be getting. You can see it's just a lovely golden brown tea. So let's go ahead and put our jacket in. We're going to take our time and we're going to lower it slowly so we don't overflow our pan. We're going to kind of separate out all of the pieces of fabric as we lower it so that it's not getting tangled in there. So this is what we're looking at so far. The dye is definitely already started being sucked up into the cotton fibers. We're going to get just like a really nice, beautiful, all over rich color. I'm going to go ahead and let this sit on the stove for about 20 minutes. And after that, we'll come and check it out and see if it's the color we want. Okay, the tea dye has done its magic, and we are ready to go ahead and rinse this, throw it in the washer machine and dryer. Let me show you really quickly what it's looking like in the pot. See if I can pull it up for you so you can see what the colors are like. We're looking at like this pinkish tan over dye. Here is the yellow that we stamped. Kind of has that dye over it now. So hopefully when we wash it and rinse it, it turns out just beautiful. Pulled it out of the sink. Just finished hand rinsing it. This is what we've got going so far. It's kind of got some really boho vibes now. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in the wash machine and rinse it better. And then we're going to throw it in the dryer and let all those edges fray out. I am just so happy with this. It's going to be amazing. Check it out. It's so cool. Look at all the beautiful embellishments, and the color turned out perfect. I love the back. I love the front. It's giving all the boho vibes, and so beautiful. Be fun to wear to a concert. Be fun to wear to town. Go and shop with my friends. I'm excited about it. I love that the pink came through in such a subtle, kind way. So the tea with the pink gave it like this rosy hue, which is what I was going for. It's so me, and I'm so excited to have it all done. And I'm so blessed by all the little things and all the love that went into it. You can see how my hand stamping turned out here. And yeah, I'm just really obsessed with it actually. I was thinking about listing it on my Etsy. I'm not so sure if I want to sell this or part with this, but if you're interested in it, please reach out to me personally at leslierosessews@gmail.com and we can have a conversation. But it's really, really pretty. I love it. Everything I was hoping it would be. Look at how gorgeous this is. Oh my goodness. All of the handwork turned out so beautifully. This was a beautiful thin scarf that I appliqued on and then went over with machine embroidery. I did hand embroidery. I appliqued selvages from Inspired Heart fabric. I also did from Tula Pink, selvages from Tula Pink. There's this bird that came from a Kelly Ray Roberts piece. It says Brave. Untamed came from Tula Pink. There are all kinds of beautiful, beautiful handwork that I poured my love and heart into. You can see right here I embroidered love. I hand stamped the whole bottom of this. Look at how beautiful the dyeing went over all of that handwork I did and turned that stark white block into just everything I wanted. It's the perfect color. I'm so glad I saved that dye and didn't dump it down the drain. Got some strawberries, flowers. We have our pre-made pieces that I got in that grab bag from the thrift shop in Santa Cruz and used to make my sleeves. Look at the back. I pieced together these batik fabrics and then appliqued more Tula Pink on with Tula Pink elephant, and then used butterflies from a Kelly Ray Roberts piece. I am obsessed with this jacket. All the details that I put into it just turned out so beautiful with the dyeing and the finishing up of it. This is all hand appliqued, embroidered, stamped, just gorgeous, giving it kind of that denim retro look, Bohemian vibe, straight out of a magazine, guys. I'm so pleased with this jacket. I thought I might put it on my Etsy. I'm gonna have to think about it because I'm obsessed. I still have my other artsy upcycled jacket over here that I'm in love with and obsessed about. It's such a different look and a different vibe. I don't know. I might have to make more. These are just so much fun and I just love the outcome.